Time for our main event, a number one contenders match. Vikram Prashar versus Brian White.
This is contest is your main event for the evening, and it is the number one contention for the Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Championship. It's scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit.
Well, the stakes are as high as they can be without it being a title match. That being the number one contenders match here. Who's going to face Rodney Matthews, the Hammerlock Pure Wrestling World Champion?
Took the words right out of my mouth, Mark. It might not be a championship like you said, but winning that number one contendership, that puts you in line. You are next, ready to win the gold.
And this man wanting to get right there at the top in the title picture. It's the Punjabi Prodigy, Vikram Prashar.
Prashar bringing nothing but swagger to the ring with him.
Absolutely loves soaking in the booze. I think it actually fuels him. Checking the top rope. Maybe that's because of the top rope disaster we had in the past year last week in Hammerlock Pure Wrestling.
You know, better safe than sorry, especially with stakes this high.
Now Prashar wants there, but of course, one man stands in the way. He also wants to get to the top and face Rodney Matthews for the Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Championship. That being the honorable one, Brian White. Mouth guard in, he's ready to go.
Fired up, ready to bring home the victory.
Nothing like a sing-along to get you started.
You know, if there's one thing in wrestling that we can all agree on is that everybody loves to sing. Great way to get the crowd in your corner as well. Brian White
narrowly
really
avoiding that water bottle.
Just the head games are already starting.
Prashar did not appreciate that. Took the sunglasses off to make sure he locked eyes with Brian White. These two men, they know what's at stake here. Number one contender.
The intensity already covering both men's faces.
Weighing 190 pounds from London, Ontario, the Punjabi Prodigy, Vikram Prashar. Next champ, weighing 200 pounds from Sarnia, Ontario, the Honourable one, Brian White.
The confidence oozing from both men here.
I was about to say, Vikram Prashar, you could hear him just already say next champion. You might not want to get the cart before the horse here. There's still a long way to go and a man named Brian White in your way.
Now, Brian White, recently in the title picture as well. He won a number one contenders match in Dorchester recently. Just came up short in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Now, you got to believe if it wasn't 2 out of 3 falls, Brian may be our Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Champion right now.
Absolutely. You know, coming up a little short, but he's been to that promised land. He knows he's so close. He has that taste for it. He wants to take another shot at the Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Championship.
You know, you see that happen in sports sometimes where a team is there. They're in the finals year after year, and then finally something puts them over the top, and they become world champions.
Exactly.
That's exactly what Brian's looking for.
Just that extra fire you get from being so close yet so far. You can see it on Brian White's face here tonight. But Vikram Prashar, ready to say no. Bit of a title or a complicated title history with him as well.
This one a little bit more personal for Prashar. Prashar trained by the great Tyson Dukes, former Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Champion, first ever Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Champion. And he was lined up to take him on. However, you know, match delays, things got in the way.
Things happen, you know.
Rodney Matthews ends up taking the title off of Tyson Dukes. Tyson Dukes retires, so he never got to face his mentor. Can you imagine the dream taken away?
Exactly. It's got to feel like a lot of unfinished business on Vikram Prashar's side. You might not get that match with Tyson Dukes, but you can still take that title. And you have to believe that's fired Vikram up.
It's become personal where Rodney Matthews Vikram believes is in his spot.
Absolutely.
Controlling Brian White.
You have to imagine he feels like he deserves that Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Championship. That should have been his.
Watch out, grabbing the hair there. Got away with a little hair pull.
Got to be careful, though, especially with stakes this high. You can't bend the rules, Prashar.
The rule book is rock solid here in Hammerlock Pure Wrestling.
Rules are law in the golden age.
And our referee getting a closer look, making sure nothing like that happens. Now Brian White in control.
Just twisting the arm, leaving that abdomen exposed, slapping Prashar, trying to take the air right out of his body.
Now Brian White, not only a professional wrestler here in Hammerlock Pure Wrestling, a city councilman in Sarnia. Can you imagine those meetings?
I can. I imagine everybody would be on his side when a decision is made. You don't want to be on the opposite side. You might end up on the wrong side of a suplex.
Suplex through the boardroom table. Rolling through Prashar. In control for the moment, side headlock. Both men drop to a knee. Got to feel each other out. Again, with the stakes this high, one quick mistake.
Exactly, it's
could
all
be a
over.
problem.
Because we like to talk a lot about what happens when you win.
Is that a noogie?
It almost looked
did he
like
go
a
with the
noogie from Prashar there. Just disrespect.
There's a throwback. Anyone with a big brother knows.
As an only child, I can say I'm not familiar with the art of the noogie, but can imagine it is effective.
Brian pushing the leg down. Rolls through. Side headlock takeover and back in control in the center of the ring at Job Site Brewing Company here in Stratford.
We might see a little noogie revenge from White. No, just wrenching that neck.
That may be worse than a noogie. Not many things are worse than a noogie, but wrenching the neck like that
might make that list.
Jarring the spine and everything of Vikram Prashar.
Prashar trying to use his whole body to escape this headlock here.
Both men back to their feet. Wait for the takeover once again. Prashar blocked it. Off the ropes, ducks the clothesline. And right back. In control, the honorable one, Brian White.
Quite effective there by White. But again, Prashar using those legs, trying to get out of that headlock, but White not having any of it.
Old school Brian White wearing him down very early in the match here. Going for the back body drop. Off the ropes. Shoulder tackle. Takes down Prashar.
Brian White just ready to stop Vikram Prashar's offense at every turn.
Scoops him up and down. And the elbow right to the heart of the Punjabi Prodigy Vikram Prashar.
Simple yet effective offense from Brian White.
White to the corner now. Making his way up to the second rope. And the axe handle kind of caught him with an elbow there. 1, 2.
Hand, elbow, still made impact.
Effective. And the suplex. Honorable one, Brian White. He had his last opportunity slip away. He does not want that to happen again here.
You can just see Brian White stay on Vikram Prashar here. Vikram not really having much of an opportunity to get in this match quite yet. You can see how much that another shot at Rodney Matthews and the Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Championship means to Brian White.
Referee telling him, watch where you're going here, Brian White. It jumps off the second rope and chop block from behind takes out the leg of Brian White.
This might be the open Vikram Prashar was looking for.
Nothing like trash talking the crowd as he's in control of his opponent.
Prashar needs to be careful, though.
You know, he calls himself the Punjabi Prodigy. There's some truth to that. This man's been featured in Ring of Honor.
The talent is there. Vikram Prashar, he is confident, but he deserves every little bit of that confidence.
Working the ankle now. Get that leg out of there, he says, and goes right back to work on the ankle of Brian White.
Prashar seems to have found his footing in that match. Slight pun intended.
Working the leg and the knee of Brian White. He's down right in the center of the ring. And shots to the chest as well. Right back to the leg. He has found his target.
And the smack talk coming out of the mouth of Vikram Prashar, insulting Brian as he works on that leg.
Oh, he's at the ring post now, using the ring as a weapon. Wrapping that knee around the post.
That can't feel good.
Writhing in pain. Brian White just trying to get away from Vikram Prashar at this point.
Oh, and just wrapping that knee around the
Your
the
leg's
ring
not
rope.
supposed to bend like that.
But again, Prashar needs to be careful. While this offense is effective, it could land him with a disqualification. At the referee's discretion.
He does not want that again. Scheduling problems took away his last title match versus his mentor, his trainer, the great, the legendary Tyson Dukes. He doesn't want it taken away, an opportunity to face Rodney Matthews. Taking the knee out once again.
Just pit bull-like focus.
You got to believe Vikram Prashar had a game plan going in here, and he is executing it to perfection at this moment.
Bit of a slow start, but you can definitely see that Prashar's found his groove.
Oh, look out,
And
Brian out of
just
nowhere.
like that, Brian White bringing the momentum to his corner with a 2 count.
Shoulder up from Vikram Prashar. And the chant for Brian White now, trying to will him back to his feet. It took all he had to get that. Bringing him up to one knee, and oh!
Prashar bringing White out down as soon as he got up.
They have lost a couple teeth on that one.
You can see the Punjabi Prodigy really complimenting himself in his quick thinking there.
Luckily had the mouth guard in. Brian White might look a little different walking into those city council meetings. Stretching the neck now.
And just chopping the chest, Vikram Prashar working all parts of White's body.
Tugging at the ears and maybe grabbed a little bit, a handful of hair there, but
Referee's discretion. Prashar wrapping those knees around his leg.
taking a moment to... Oh! Not going to feel great on the knee for Brian White that he's been working on all match long. You can see the pain in the face right now.
I believe that's just a torturous Indian deathlock from Prashar. My goodness, with a bridge.
Arching the back. And look at this. Look
Finding
at the
room to be
confidence.
confident.
Willing the crowd on for more boos.
Who needs the crowd when you have an ego like Vikram Prashar's in your corner?
Twisting and wrenching that knee. Brian White can feel this opportunity slipping away, but no. Gets to the bottom rope just in time.
White still in this match, but Prashar not letting go. A little oomph, a little extra before he releases those legs.
After the buzzer on that one. And more confident than ever, the Punjabi prodigy, Vikram Prashar.
Needs to stay on that offense.
He's in full control right now, as White is out in the corner. How badly does Brian White want it? That's what he needs to tell himself right now. And pull something out here.
But with offense like this, how deep can Brian White dig?
Chop to the chest. Reversal. Thrown into the corner. And moves out of the way, Prashar once again.
Prashar taking a second to get his bearings here.
Good thing the ropes were there, or Brian White may have been back down. Stops himself.
White firing up.
He's been asking those questions himself. How bad do I want it? One off of every turnbuckle.
Meeting every little bit of that corner was Prashar's face.
And you see the knee that Prashar's been working on all match long coming into effect here as Brian cannot even get to his feet. Crawls his way over to Prashar. Oh, he's lucky there. Had Brian White went over the top rope, that would have been a disqualification.
Vikram Prashar playing with fire there. That's a very good point, Mark.
Brian White catching himself may have actually saved himself, or saved Prashar from a disqualification there.
It might just have been instinct kicking in there, but you can see the confidence immediately coming back to Vikram Prashar. It's almost like the more control he gets in this match, the confidence raises right up with it.
Very close to the ropes as he tried another submission hold. Prashar, instead of finishing the match here, opting to... And
Another
the noogie is
noogie.
back! Such a disrespectful move.
Shades of middle school torment.
And right back where we started. Brian White, 1-2. Tried to catch him with a quick one. Side headlock back in control. And Brian White may be out. What does he have left?
That's a great question. White looking to answer it right here. Back up to his feet.
Shots to the ribs. Prashar on the ropes. And a huge drop kick to the face. Down goes Brian White.
Prashar turning himself almost into a bullet there.
That might be it. 1, 2. And White with a huge kick out, showing that he still has something left. He knows what it's like to be in a championship match. He wants it again in this #1 contenders match.
White willing to throw everything he has in that ring to go back just for another shot at that Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Championship.
Prashar clubs to the back, drops him down. The DDT. And the kick out.
Not a lot of oomph behind that kick out, though.
White just going on his experience now and maybe instinct with these kickouts. Trying to find out exactly where Prashar is. That's
just
where he is.
Stalking White.
And
back to
dropping
the
the
knee.
knee. Oh, the knee is just
I have to imagine it's in agony at this point.
telling the referee, no, I don't want to quit, but you got to think he's been thinking about it at this point. Oh, the pressure
just
on the side of the
wrenching
knee.
that knee. My goodness.
You can see the pain in Brian White's face right now, and you see the relaxation, the control that Vikram Prashar has.
And that's it. You can just see the confidence and control that Vikram Prashar has. He knows he's at the home stretch here.
Slaps to the chest here. That's all he can do at this point. Brian White
is holding on by a thread.
Stretches out and grabs that bottom rope, gets himself to safety for the moment. Shot to the jaw.
You have to ask, though, how much does White have left in the tank?
He has been battling this whole match for the opportunity at the Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Championship. A match with Rodney Matthews awaits. Gets Prashar up and drops him. The Death Valley Driver. Can you believe it?
A classic DVD.
2. No,
So
Prashar
close.
kicks out.
2.99. Little bit left in Prashar. The Death Valley Driver, not enough to bring it home.
Incredible that Brian White was able to, the knee was stable enough to hold Prashar up there for just as long as he needed.
Really showing off the power there.
May have taken the last bit out, though, as he crawls to the ropes now.
That crowd trying to will Brian White on.
He's back to a vertical base.
Has enough left in the tank. Here he goes. Is he going for another one?
This may be, and the knee.
The knee says no.
The knee gives out.
You can see Prashar, the opening.
And the chop block from behind once again.
Prashar like a shark.
Oh, the Punjabi perfect plex. 3, there it is.
A great showing by Brian White, but Vikram Prashar had a game plan and he stuck to it.
Vikram Prashar is your #1 contender for the Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Championship.
Prashar worked that knee, put him in a perfect position to get the Punjabi perfect plex locked in.
Brian White so close at the end, wait for the second Death Valley Driver, but the knee just could not handle it. As you mentioned, the game plan worked to perfection. And Prashar now, although he may have had some doubts during that match, he'll never let anybody know about it.
Absolutely not.
Let's hear what he has to say. Trying to rub the salt in the wound of Brian White.
Complete disrespect.
Might have to get security out here.
Absolutely. Prashar might be one comment away from a riot.
So this victory just made the Punjabi Prodigy Vikram Prashar the #1 contender to the Hammerlock Pure Wrestling.
And you can tell how much he likes calling himself the new #1 contender.
Hey, want to get in here and make me lose? No, I don't.
Now that's just unnecessary. Calling out the fans.
So, that means I have a match in the main event of the 7 p.m. show tonight, right here at Topside Brewing, against the current Hammerlock Pure Wrestling champion, Rodney Matthews. Rodney Matthews, the bossing looks. But you know what? I had a lot on my mind I wanted to say, but I'd rather say it to his face. So Rodney Matthews, get your ass out here right now.
Is he calling out our Hammerlock Pure Wrestling champion, Rodney Matthews?
It sure sounds that way. Prashar not backing down. Not wasting any time.
And as we know, a fighting champion he is, Rodney Matthews, out here instantly.
Making his way to the ring, tired of hearing what Prashar has to say. I can't imagine Rodney Matthews takes well to Prashar disrespecting his fans like that.
What's going on? You're looking at your opponent tonight for that championship at the 7 p.m. show. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this. I want you to pay attention to this. Because a lot of you guys right now don't understand what's happening. You guys are
the top guy in pro wrestling staring at each other right now. And tonight you guys are going to get to see us go one-on-one for that very title. Whoa! Yeah, that Hammerlock Pro Wrestling Championship. And you know what? Rodney Matthews, for those of you who don't know, he actually defeated our coach, our mentor, Tyson Dukes, to win that title. Yes. I can't fault you for that. I was watching from the sidelines and you had a tear in your eye, as Tyson Dukes had a tear in his eye. And dare I say, I almost had a tear in my eye. Until I realized what happened. That title's prestigious, but it's about a little more than just winning my first pro wrestling championship. I was supposed to face Tyson Dukes before you did. To prove myself to him, and that's the point I didn't get to prove. That's a moment in my career that was robbed from you. So it's about a lot more than just winning that championship, because now, my point tonight is to prove Hammerlock pure wrestling wrong.
We want Chili Brown.
Well, guess what? He's not here tonight, and he hasn't competed for that title. And if he wants a title shot, he's gonna have to beat me for it, because I'm gonna beat you for it. The point that I'm trying to prove here tonight is that Hammerlock Pure Wrestling picked the wrong man. They laid their eggs in the wrong basket, because from the time that this company started, the first two main events, who faced Tyson Dukes? It was you. Who fell short twice? It was you. And then we move on. They're like, oh, this guy's not man enough to beat Tyson Dukes. Let's have him face baby Ethan Dukes. And what happened there? 2 time-limit draws. Guess what, buddy? Last time I was in Stratford, I beat Ethan Dukes 1, 2, 3. But that's what happened. In fact, there's some statistics a lot of you guys probably don't know about. Last time Hammerlock was in St. Thomas, I pinned you 1, 2, 3 in a tag team match, but you were placed in a battle royal to compete for that, and I wasn't. That's the agenda that's been pushed around here. You have been babied by this company from the start, and they've been protecting you from me.
Prashar pleading his case here.
We alluded to it earlier. This was personal for Prashar, and boy, is he letting him have it.
You can tell he's been waiting to say this.
You've been protecting for me this whole time, and tonight I'm going to prove that when I beat you for that championship. Rodney Matthews has been all around Ontario making a name for himself, and you've done a damn good job, because when you step in between these rows, I almost want to say there's nobody that Tyson Dukes trained who could beat you 1, 2, 3. But the problem is, you're standing across the ring from the man who beat him. Tonight, when I do that, you're not going to be remembered as the man who retired Tyson Dukes. You're not even going to be remembered as part of Books and Looks. You're not even going to be remembered as Miley's boyfriend. You're going to be remembered as bitch. And at the end of the night, this joke right here of a ring announcer is going to get my name right when he announces the new Hammerlock Pure Wrestling Champion, the Punjabi Prodigy, Vikram Prashar. Behind that smile, I see some anxiety, so don't worry. When I go home with that championship tonight, I'll be sure to give Miley a kiss goodnight for
Come
you.
on now.
Taking it just a little too far there, Vikram Prashar. My goodness.
Unnecessary. Making no friends here in Hammerlock Pure Wrestling. Calling out a ring announcer.
Listen, you guys talking, so it's my turn. You seem to think that you're owed a lot, and don't get me wrong, you're very talented, Vikram. You call yourself a Punjabi prodigy, right? You're acting more like a Punjabi princess. I haven't heard that one before.
The Jobsite Brewing Company telling Vikram Prashar exactly what they think of him.
These people have heard enough. I came to Stratford to have a good time tonight.
Rodney Matthews doesn't want to wait. He wants to do it right now. Vikram Prashar, are we going to see a championship match right now?
Impromptu title match. I say let's do it.
Prashar, one leg in and one leg out.
A lot of talk from Vikram Prashar, but the most important thing he's saying is that he's going to do it on his terms.
Absolutely. He is the number one contender. We will see that match when Vikram Prashar is ready.
A lot of strong words, and I imagine the action in the ring is going to match it right up.
Thank you for joining us on Hammerlock Pure Wrestling.
You're watching Hammerlock Pure Wrestling on Rogers TV. Stay up to date with all things Hammerlock Pure Wrestling. Visit hammerlockpurewrestling.com.